Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Adventures in the TARDIS. With me, Tashi, and Dr. Chris Cole.
And Pinkie Pie.
Pinkie Pie. And Pinkie Pie as well. Because there are two on the screen. And there might be more hiding because of the mirror pool.
Or
But
time
hi.
shenanigans.
Oh yeah, that too. Who knows how many timeless Pinkie Pies are there?
That's probably responsible for the Derpy clones.
Yeah? What about the Momo clothes?
Especially during the time in the Twilight's flashback when she was an adult, when Derpy should have been a filly.
I mean, that was probably this therapy, not the
Yep.
one therapy.
Yep.
So last time we had a little break in between, because the chapter is longer than usual, and that's true. But here we are, continuing the chapter. Going outside or not going outside? Hanaman is just deciding if he should leave the TARDIS unattended. Because nobody is there. Other than Smiley. So let's see how he chooses. Sitting down the stairs to the lower floor of the clock tower, not a surprise for the wind to hear silence. So he chose to leave. Other than the loud ticking of the tower itself, because he was already informed there were no life forms in the tower anymore, other than himself. When he emerges towards the base level, though, he is surprised to see how clean the place is. Wasn't there a party here just tonight? If so, shouldn't there be more evidence of it? No, these are ponies. These are not humans who leave their trash behind.
Leave their droppies instead.
I mean, there might be probably, what is it called? Timbers and, confetti around. But never question Pinkie Pie. He does eventually find one thing out of place. There's still a table set out with parts of sort of food such as pies, cake, porridge, cookies, and cupcakes. Of course, they left some for you because you were asleep. That doesn't assume much about it at first. Someone left it there, so he decided to leave it alone. Until noticing that there is an envelope from them there. Oh my god, we are literally having an Undertale moment. Here, human, eat my spaghetti! He almost does pass it, but just as he's about to pass up the table, curiosity strikes him. I thought for a reason that it is like a Harry Potter envelope that opens itself and starts shouting at him. And maybe he's instinct too. He turns his head about to look back at the envelope. Being so close to the table, he almost can't see it anymore. From his low angle, him itself was considered the envelope now. Now we can feel how small the wind is. Because I assume that's a normal size table.
Wait, yeah.
Realizing his curiosity feels irresistible now, uses his magic to flow the envelope closer to him. I'm gonna assume that they left all of these for him because Pinkie Pie didn't want him to leave out of the war party, even though
That
he
makes
was asleep.
that makes a lot of sense. Barring the fact that I wrote the darn thing, I just from the perspective of a reader, I would agree with you. Just from what I know about Pinkie Pie.
I mean, this could be either from Pinkie Pie or Starlink's handwriting or Hook writing.
That was going to be our next question. Who do you think wrote the letter? But you already
I
answered
mean,
it.
it could be Vision as well, but I don't think that's the case.
Really
So,
unlikely. Can't read or write because she's blind.
he opened up the letter and it doesn't have anything in it, just little dots and dashes. He only decides not to read unless it is for him, but he can at least read who the envelope is intended for. No, you cannot, because they are not using letters. When he nods, he sees only back when he reads the fact that the rope is indeed meant for him, unless there is another kind of wind hanging about the address at this time. He's saying that is very unlikely. He uses his magic to open the thing and gets taken back again, this time much more severely. But the explosion of bad confetti somehow erupts from within the envelope itself. Well, that explains who the envelope is from. This is 100% a Pinkie Pie certified envelope. Or maybe it could be Surprise Smurf. I don't know his name. I don't remember his name. Oh, Jokey. That's his name. I never heard his name in English.
Okay.
It is less lethal. For sure. Seven visits for a few seconds, and he feels compelled to question his sanity for a brief moment. He kept on asking himself, did it really just happen? The confetti is there? No. Then it's floating down to the floor. Good thing that this is not the human Pinkie Pie. Remember at what her superpower was at Elfie Forest?
Yeah.
Hitting his head at it, he decided to sweep it back into the air, the tiny spiral of wind. Oh, and now we are referencing Pocahontas. So literally what Featherwind is doing is this. Really confetti. He carefully had it spit about in the air before realizing there might be something else in the envelope. No, it was only confetti. When he checks, he notices two things. One, there's a letter in the envelope. Who would have assumed? Two, there's a smell of cake batter in the envelope as well. He confirmed this by having the envelope float next to his bottle and sniffs it. Next, he floats the letter itself out of the envelope and hands it over in front of him in his magical aura. He then proceeds to read it. Dear fellow Wind, Welcome to Ponyville. I am sorry I missed you towards the later part of the evening, but at least I met you at all. Wow! You are so short.
The end.
Immediately. You are so short, but you also seem super duper fun. I love how you made it all poofy and cloud-like, just like mine. Actually, much like my own. But why yours is like perfect gold, mine is like cotton candy. Ooh, cotton candy. Cool. After the last one, there's a picture of a tool face, followed by an artistic cheer face. There is no way you made Pinkie Pie use emojis.
She's got stamps for that. In case of stamp emergency.
And then Fenrir slowly noticing that he is trolling as well. Anyway, while I guess you couldn't attend the rest of the evening with us, I know that some police party exercise in their own special way, and that is a-okay in my part book. I have met lots and lots of friends in this town. Some of them like to get up and hop around like me, and others like to be left alone. Whatever works for you, I honor and respect it. Oh, before I forget, I have some buttons select at the table. You have yourself do as much as you like. And then he looks up at the table, and there's a whole cake. People for the face start singing out. Leopard pies? Nah, I made by my good friend a project. Oh, should I make the list that there are multiple upper pies? My pies are delicious. You want to try some? As for the
There's
cake,
hyphens in there, so there's a slight pause there. Delicious.
yeah, but I don't have that much air. I'm not Pinkie Pie. As for the cakes and cupcakes, they are made by yours truly. Me? I don't make cakes. Only make page. Ponyville is really super awesome, fun, and magical place. I thought for you to discover that. And if you ever need me to help you with that, I'm just a call away. I have pinky size to let them tell things. Ponyface laughing out loud. And you don't even need Magical Crystal to call me. The point of the party is to show you the hospitality of this town. It's a truly remarkable place. You can find a friend at every corner, and I can't wait for you to find it out. Your new friend forever, Pinkie Pie. Aww. Yes, you can tell. Halloween almost forced the letter back on the table forward. Until the girl to him, how much he valued the experience. He moves his hand from the bridge of his nose, goes a bright smile, and almost cries, since he feels so happy at this moment. And then suddenly, he sees a flash. He follows the flash, and then it's photo finish, saying, "Yeah, that's the moment! Good! Now I go!" And that wouldn't be surprising to me if that happened. He digs letter into his saddlebag. It then takes a month to pour these new feelings of happiness and warmth into the grand crystal. A little bit of magic can be found anywhere. Her proposed to discover that again by the legendary element of laughter. And how much more you will find. Even can tell us if there's time, and less hoof traffic at nighttime. But this is a small town. Just a small town car. The most lush scenes of Ponyville are almost devoid of any pony up at night. He stands as a lone exception as far as he can tell right now.
Just a small town girl living in a pony world.
Just a small town fall.
She took the friendship train going anywhere.
Indeed. Heading outside of Time Turner's Clock Tower, the Lord of the Tower is quite a big writer out here. Yeah, because you are not in. Just like when I leave my workplace, I don't hear the voices inside. It doesn't tell about. I could say it's only magic to shut the front door, perhaps make it even quieter. You did that, yes, but did you close the TARDIS door? You have never written it down. With that done, the silence of the night does sink into him.
Very likely, yes, he shut the door, but he couldn't lock it. He doesn't have the key.
Yeah. Then just a few paces away from the tower, by considering what course he should take. He is not very familiar with the tower's layout anyway. Should get some guidance from Mitt, who is probably hovering somewhere nearby, while invisible. I don't think Mitt can help you there. Mitt is not from this timeline.
Right, but it can scan it, and then it can provide the information. Well, it's gotta check first.
I mean, Eleven can fly.
Yes, he can.
So Mitt
But
scanning it is the same as him flying up. And
kind of. It has more sophisticated sensors. Right now, it's still dark. He could fly up there, but you'll see just a dark terrain with some scattered lights around.
I mean, the reason why you want to go is getting to one of the scattered lights.
The light of the moon phase is not announced yet.
Yeah. That is an option, but right now he kind of feels like doing his own thing. Also, remember, he can put us into his own thing. He can let them touch the wind.
Uh-huh.
This makes him realize he is really having some trouble acclimating back into Polish society after enjoying so much time out alone in nature. Just then, he hears a soft sound of the wind blowing through the air. Most Polish probably would not notice it, but for Feather, it leaps in the direction. The message she feels in there as he makes it in the much. It must convey the same positive atmosphere of the town. Right now, the winds are mostly calm, but there's a dash of playful space in it too. Right now, we are really close to the Pocahontas. Because we have a wind talker and we have a very old tree as well. I don't think the elemental probably can talk, but it can definitely cast magic.
Oh yeah. Especially in close proximity to it.
Getting actually gets an idea, and the winds he turned left and right. Check if the coast is really clear for the moment. Also, I have an idea, a question. We know that Parasite cannot really control the weather in Evergreen Forest, right?
Did you say Paraspart?
The Parasite.
Pegasi. Oh yeah, they had trouble with the wind and I'm sorry, the weather in Everfree. That's correct. And also, it freaked Fluttershy out that the animals take care of themselves all on their own.
But would kind of wind be able to do some talking with the wind there?
Yeah. Conversation for darn sure, yes. Well, it might be a little less cooperative, but he's able to communicate to it. And thanks to that, he may also influence it, at least temporarily, but with a mind of its own, it can fight back.
Yeah, so he would have actually trouble flying over the Evergreen Forest.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
I mean, he can still use the extra wind current that is there, but he wouldn't be able to move it around as he usually does.
He could still lighten his body weight, and then he can grab himself telekinetically. At that point, he weighs less, and he
Yeah,
already weighed very little. And because he's so light, it doesn't cost that much magic.
indeed. Can I get it? I don't think about my fire this or not. Can I actually get the idea? For the whips his head left and right to check if the coast really is clear for finding out that is. Then he floats out his mid-throat. Now that his body weight, floats himself a few feet up in the air. Pushing legs into the separate corner pocket of his throat, floats his hood on, and hooks his horn to the hole at the top. Then summons the wind to blow him into the air. He definitely has a leg of cloth, and he pulls out the wind and summons it. In
Oh
attack
shoot!
position.
Featherwind got blown up.
Yeah? It would be funny if he had a blow dryer. That would be summoning the wind.
Oh yeah, you probably could do that. Concentrated, dry blast of air.
You know what he couldn't be able to move? Wind summoned by Discord. Because they are not natural.
Yeah, I imagine he'd have some trouble with that. And you'll find out later on, too, he also has trouble with. Well, you suggested the Everfree Forest. You probably have a point there. Also, a corrupted environment. Like something saturated
Yeah.
with negative energy. That's one of the rare examples when the elements are actually hostile to him.
But now, he is above Ponyville, he is in Ponyville, he'll be fine.
Yep.
You know who he would meet having trouble with? Trouble. I think what he says about Ponyville, more than the fact that it's strange how rarely he is not this lately.
I was just thinking about the fact that if trouble eats him, he'll go like, "Oh no, I'm in trouble."
You are indeed in trouble. In the vast majority of his time in the ancient past of the other planet shown that he isn't alone with the rest of his friends. No, you fly higher than ever. You are very high, my friend. You might not
That
remember, but you were definitely very high.
it would have been beautiful, super clean air too.
Yeah? The extra irony of that was the entire part could have flown in their own way. even Dr. Kelly. Or the few times he had inspired by them was upon some magic disc that left him feeling technically disconnected from the outside environment. Sure, he saw the movement, but he didn't feel the wind or the tide, or even the gravity of the acceleration. It was so odd. I mean, yeah, the wind is not strange for us, but the gravity would be strange for us as well, if you wouldn't feel it.
Yeah, it's like watching a television of rapid movement. That's kind of what it felt like. Except the television was all around you.
Yeah? Flying and being gratitude to nature is at the core of his thought. As such, it feels so strange to him that he has really done this ever since he joined the adventures of the TARDIS.
Yeah, he said it. He said the thing.
Not fully, because it's of the TARDIS, not in the TARDIS.
Mm-hmm.
Yet now, when he finally has a chance to relax and do his own thing, nothing urgent hovering over his head, he turns it to his roots. While this is enjoyable and relaxing, there is very clear above. A good thing that you mentioned it, because it is actually mentioned here as well. So I'm gonna be across the globe. Because it's
Got
not.
him.
I got my telescope as well. The logic naturally follows through anywhere. Temperatures almost drop at the higher he goes. This was something he discovered many years ago by growing up as a fall. His situation is made even worse by the fact he has such a tiny body. It does mean all of his limbs are closer to his heart, but he has less insulation compared to many other ponies. In the one trait, he has always had that made him disproportionate to another parasite. Perfectly natural, he handle being able to handle high altitude within the earth. That's the thing. They handle being able to handle.
Wait, there's
There's one handle too much.
naturally be the first handle is probably the problem here.
Yeah.
Look, frequently naturally.
Yeah, in the meantime, I'm just continuing without the handling. To other parasites, frequently natural being able to handle higher altitudes with thinner oxygen and lower temperatures. Yeah, that's it. He managed to adapt to breathing at higher altitude just fine, but the temperature kept remaining problem for him, and it is there to this night. I mean, there is definitely a spell that can heat you up.
I had in a previous chapter he had a spell to blanket himself with warmth.
Yeah. It wasn't until the other time he applied for the Wonderbolt Academy though, when he finally came across a spell to help him with it.
Yeah.
It is literally gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
A spell that can create a bubble of warmth around his body. I can do it for up to 24 hours without concentration. unless he plans to regulate the temperature during the spell's duration. And even then, he only has to focus briefly during the temperature up or down. So he has a built-in AC.
Yep.
Also, this is literally like how the girls do that over in Ruby. After learning to maintain it, they don't really need to concentrate that much. Because it
Yeah.
is almost like bathing.
If you had access to that spell, you can harmlessly swim through snow. Naked.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to fairly swim too slow because you would cause avalanche if you are batting the snow.
Hmm.
This plan ended up vital for him during the wonderful training because he had some standards he wasn't prepared to match until he came up with spells like that to compensate for his natural weaknesses.
It makes sense that he'd come up with it at that moment when he was pushing his limits much harder.
Yes. Other guys know himself
And
now.
it was not like the Wonderbolt trainers just ripped out a spell book and say, "Here, study this spell." They have never encountered this situation before.
I mean, he
Uh,
had no backup stuff to begin with.
right. They never trained a flying unicorn before, and his methods were different. So it was an adaptive strategy both ways.
Other cast did on himself now, just as he can for multiple weeks as his friend climbed this very tall mountain in the ancient past. Ponyville is quite dark right now, but that is to be expected. There are some street lamps in it, some homes with suffocating glow to the windows, and from inside, you can see a sheen of moonlight glow to the various poles and mirrors running through the town, which all shine in particular depends upon the angle of the moonlight, and, or, if there's a cloud, that's correct considering it. From this height, two buildings stand out to him the most, mostly because they are the tallest in town. One of them is the town hall, the other is I don't know if the Crystal Castle is here yet.
No, it's not.
That
I
is,
assure you, it would have stood out the most if it was there.
I wouldn't
Um,
call the Golden Library that big too.
it
So,
doesn't match to the height of the clock tower of the town hall at that time. But the the crystal tree, oh yeah, it was the largest when it came up. And imagine what it would look like at nighttime when it would gleam in the moonlight.
so the other one might be right his boutique. Could be. But
I think
the first one is definitely Town Hall.
I believe Verity's boutique is about 3 stories tall.
Yeah. Most of the buildings are just one or two.
If I'm right, her main shop is the lowest floor. Go up one more floor and you might get the place where she constructs the dresses. And finally, the last room would be a bedroom.
Yeah. On this side, yeah. Mostly because they are the tallest in town. One of them is the Cook Tower. Oh yeah. No. Cook Tower was not that high. He has left. Another is Town Hall. Even more serves him. Let us pull up Ponyville. Because we can do that.
Well, you had one in your splash page that you just came from. But
Yeah, but
Pinky's
there's
kind of
another
a
section
in the
that
way.
shows. You know what? Maybe I can bring up this one. And one other thing pops up that is very tall. It's
Are you referring,
it looks like tall, but it's not that tall.
if you're referring to Sweet Apple Acres, it's because it's closer in this picture.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, it's because it's closer to
On top of that, and this is something I didn't quite know, and I think I don't even agree with it. It's at an elevated height from in terms of terrain too.
I don't remember the windmill though.
Yeah, I don't recall that, but according to this picture, that house is standing at a higher hill. What I recall from Sweet Apple Acres though is pretty flat around the area where if it weren't for the trees. I do recall some rounded designs of adjacent farms like the carrot farm.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Clock Tower is not that high. It's just a to say it's a tower.
I would say three at the most. A little bit of it might be concealed in this picture. If it was like a little bit lower on the hill on the other side.
I mean, later on it will be obviously the Crystal Castle and the Friendship School,
Yes,
but
definitely.
not this moment.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter.
Since the castle was made of crystal, I think it would even capture the light and kind of shimmer and sparkle.
Doesn't matter. These are the two that are uh, setting out for him.
You're on the last sentence of that paragraph.
Yeah. Now is evidently a multi-floor building with the circle on the side, with cells at the top. So the circle is around the building, looking for a place to land somewhere on the roof. Most of it has an angle too sharp for him to do so, but there is one circular area that is flat. It is probably designed to provide some shade for pulling out in the circular porch area before they enter the building itself. Or just own behind the flat thing around the building too. Getting a bit, the goes down and decides to land upon the thing. But he does, complies his weight to it securely. And each second passes and he returns to more of his full natural weight. He still and listens for a disaster area was point not like supposed to land upon. But because I live here too. So at least it has those probably applied here. Even with his full weight return, which is definitely like half a normal pony, which still isn't much in total. The name of his building is still ignorant. He doesn't even hear a crack in the wood. Feeling more confident, he makes his way to his advantage just before the drop. He lets his mind wander for a moment, but when he does, his thoughts don't latch into anything for quite some time. Instead, his thoughts are more like it's caught in the wind and drifting past him. He could observe them if he paid attention to them, but he doesn't latch into them at first. Then, the lighting of the area increases, then throws his attention up at the moon. It isn't full tonight, but she goes and growing. Something that does make him gasp in shock, though, noticing the shadow of Nightmare Moon's face. otherwise known as the man in the moon. Missing from this picture scene. And he grew up all his life seeing the shadow of the moon, and he used to think nothing of it. But sometime after he met Murphy, he explained that what happened to that moon rather recently to our time. And my moon has returned like really got purified back into Peter's Luna. See? Twilight Sparkle used air purifier. He of this, I realizes he had mixed feelings about that news. On the one hand, this story eventually turned out well. Mrs. Luna is back, and once again, having Expressia besides her younger older sister in this time. On the other hand, I am starting to talk like and think like the doctor, because I'm taking hands. He'll need to return his own time at some point, but he does. He realizes he is probably going to feel guilty to see the shadow of the man on the moon again, but realizing that it means the police trapped up there, and probably is miserable. And probably is thinking that every other pony is miserable as well. In the one sense, that she may have been in contact with the man in the moon every time she sleeps in the native time period. That might provide a glimpse into her time and potentially preventable time period. While sleeping in the day provides a glimpse into the present, or at least natural timeline. Ah! So that's why I can sleep very well in the day.
Yeah, besides the fact she's blind, the light wouldn't have bothered her. Unless the heat becomes an issue.
Heat is usually not an issue for me. For this. Case in hand.
Mm-hmm.
My thought. Oh my god. We are almost at the end. And my thought is almost at the end as well. My thoughts fire in the inevitability of needing to return to his native time someday. Hunter contemplates vital information he discovered his latest adventure. Nothing confirmed completely, but there is a very good chance that he encountered his future daughter there. Or possibly a born descendant. Either way, it is proof that he and son eventually have to return to the timeline. I almost thought that you would say that he and son will have to without saying anything more. If they don't, the offspring will never be born. Who said that your offspring is born in the timeline? No one. For all we care, they might be being born on the TARDIS. Who knows? You did happen during the journey with the TARDIS. It was basically forced their retirement. Your director is already reluctant to invite a fall into his ship. I mean, they never make a good stopping point. You will never not tolerate a newborn yelling, but older yelling definitely. An achy yelling.
Yep.
If, however, Panda had not gathered enough positive energy to have them confront Master about their return, and possibly the fate of King Sober as well, then he and Sam will have to temporarily retire in some other peaceful world and time period. I mean, they did do that at one point. What are the odds that it might turn out to be Ponyville in that case? After all, multiple police here already their father's friendship and support, and they just arrived, particularly from the perspective of the residents. Counter argument time. What if having a baby is gonna be the final push for with the positive energy that you need for the Earth crystal?
Yeah, that could provide a lot.
The mouse his head and falls across the top of his nine legs. He leans heavily forward, but not enough to settle his balance. As he does so, Benjamin, what are you doing? This is what you wrote down. Benjamin leans forward. Just not
He's
enough
sitting on
to
the he's sitting on the edge, the upper half of him is leaning forward.
Yeah. This comes to mind. As he does so, he thinks about the mysterious Pegasus map in the Sierra space again. He definitely cast magic, and he had a pretty good idea how she did it. Actually, at home to the red crystal, he'll use it like a second horn if he wanted to. And he has to do so. He has the innate talent, called within such as crystal setting talent, or crystal magic. That's probably what the Sierra space to the Pegasus did. That's how he did the red crystal Paris. I have never felt more certain of that in his life, even if he lacked the proof. He will have a daughter, or granddaughter, or great-granddaughter, or so on. It means his legacy will live on, and something is most likely coded, most likely code of it for him. Something is the most likely code of it. Code of his legacy living on.
Yeah.
He of that amazing love for her as well in him. Something can already mean such a tremendous blessing in his life already, but he gained a glimpse into the future, and how much he will have to work, he will have to look forward to. He might know that Sebastian is Pegasus, but only he could tell that he loves her to pieces. So, you are spoiled that you will love them. Halloween closed his eyes in a tight squint. Now, he is crying. He shot a bomb with his mist-coat, which is leaking even more mist to the chill of the night. I thought that you would say that he is leaking even more mist due to him crying. But clearly, especially with a tiny amount of lightning. The motion flare in so many directions. Oh yes. One of time in Ponyville is suddenly a huge help for him at this moment. I almost had it in Metator's voice from other tale. Oh yes. The release of the red crystal with who? And pressed it into his forehead. As he poured the love he needs right now into the crystal. He feels right now. He does need. And the red crystal is starts to blink with red color, showing that it is overflowing with love.
I thought that the second part would have been shorter, and there is fewer scenes, but more
No, it's
dense paragraphs in the this part too.
it was around the same length.
Yeah.
I wonder if anyone is watching at the moment.
Possibly. And rather likely, Smiley would be one of them.
I mean, I said anyone, not anything.
Okay.
We are not yet in a technological advancement yet when we can call an AI anyone. We are getting close to it, but also we are not. But
Point you to a pretty sophisticated VTuber of AI. Actually, two of them, because they're now twins.
yeah, but now I'm thinking about, yeah, we are talking about AI made in the future of Featherwind.
Hmm.
It's a major technology. It might be. I mean,
Yep.
I don't even know if Dr. Kelly knows about Smiley. He definitely knows about Meat, but does she know about Smiley?
Very likely, she told it to wait for Featherwind in the TARDIS control room.
I mean, it could have been directed to Meat.
It was also under orders to contact Calais as soon as it could, like when the TARDIS doors opened.
Yeah, that is yeah. Could be just directed to Meat.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, what'd you think of this chapter? It was good music for it, by the way.
I mean, it is definitely a very heartfelt part.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it is gonna be heartfelt until we meet the zombie ponies that are around and not showing up on the at the anthem Sandra. You know, they are not living creatures anymore.
Feather's a very sensitive pony, which is why he can make such an intense connection with nature.
Yeah. Does he even know where Nervous parents live?
If he doesn't, Bit does. No. And he also can send wind messages back and forth. They might be able to give directions that way.
Yeah. But yeah, Featherwind is cheating. Also, what would he say if they are having a baby and the doctor says, "Congratulations, it's a boy"? This would be a very strange thing.
It would be a bit of surprise, but there's a couple things that theories that might run by him. He never found for certain if the silver spacesuited mare was his daughter or granddaughter, great great granddaughter is just definitely connected to him because it had to be in his family, and he knows that lady used the red crystal. Um, Second theory is it is his daughter, but that particular visit didn't reveal the fact he had a son first.
I mean, we don't know if in that timeline, if she is still just a pony or a time lady at that moment.
Hmm.
And we know, I mean, Fenowin knows that Time Lords are actually changing forms.
Yep.
So even if he had a son, they might still turn into a filly if they are Time Lord.
Even without her cutie mark, it's definitely see that Starbreeze was definitely very interested and connected with the stars.
Or what's wrong with the stars?
Mm-hmm. That was exactly how Skydancer's story opened up, with her laying on the clouds and lifting a hoof towards the stars. Drew a picture of that.
Yeah? I'm gonna pick it up now, but I didn't. I wonder what the others are doing.
They're
They're
at
probably just
Derpy's
having
home, but
fun.
that's probably all they know. Likely talking with her parents too.
I can imagine Pinkie Pie still planning something for Halloween when he wakes up, other than the food.
See, yeah, she likes surprises.
Also, he didn't take any of the food. He hadn't eaten since they left the other place.
If you're right, then it's still on the table inside the clock tower, ready for him when he gets back. And they could drag it into the TARDIS later on. There's plenty of room in there.
And now I'm hungry too. Because I was talking about the food.
You know what? A few days ago, though, it was funny. I was actually one of my friends who was playing a game connected to the series of Manakima, and he was playing an alchemist who was crafting items. One of them was a delicious donut. As soon as that player finished with that particular creation, I had proposed that creation gave me an idea, and I asked him, "What do you think about the idea of going out and getting a real donut?" And he said that sounded great. Now it was late at night. It was like 2 a.m. or something like that. But we still drove by to a 24-hour donut place called Spud Nuts, and we bought ourselves a few donuts.
I mean, spontaneous
I,
donuts are always good.
yeah, we told the clerk too that it was actually a video game that inspired us to this action.
I mean, that is funny in the anime moment. That when they are, okay, I pulled up a donut. And he actually pulled up a donut. Donut of love.
We should probably wrap this up.
Yeah. I'm spacing out a little bit. Thinking about what
Oh,
everything has happened.
it's a pretty tender moment.
Yeah. There is on. I was waiting for that. Sorry about it.
Yeah, incoming.
I mean,
I've been up for. I've been up for over 24 hours now.
I haven't been 24 hours, but I have been up for like 80 hours, I think.
Yeah, I pushed myself today because there was just a couple events spaced out. One of them being Thanksgiving, and the other would be this reading.
Oh yeah, you had Thanksgiving. Also, yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And I'm saying that
Thank you.
because we don't really have that here, so that's why it's surprising to me.
Yeah, you mentioned an event that was similar to it though, or something about memorial, memorial of ancestors.
No, that is more like we have something similar to Halloween, but not Halloween.
Okay.
We don't
Okay.
have nothing similar to Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it for today. And in 2 days we are continuing with
Adventure of the TARDIS, but what, like tomorrow we're gonna do
the Canning.
yeah, but tomorrow are we doing the Hunters of Justice?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and see you tomorrow with Hunters of Justice. Bye bye.
Bye.